Hello and welcome once again to Cooking Under the Influence with me, your host. I am Sean, as you know that already. Tonight we're going to have a classic southern dish, grits and grillades. What are grits? What are grillades? Stick around and find out. But before we start cooking, as all good chefs know, we need to start with a drink. Tonight's drink is mint julep. Mint julep sounds very complicated and very southern. It is very southern, but it is not very complicated. Let me show you. Mint julep is nothing more than a little bit of sugar, water, and bourbon. Preferably mint juleps are made in a tall glass. Here's one now. Now when you're making mint juleps, you're required to speak in a thick southern drawl like this, so that the servants can bring you your mint julep out on the veranda. Oh, Beauregard, would you mind? There's a little live mint thing I got at the store, which after I'm done with it, I'm going to plant in my garden. Get a couple of sprigs of that. I'm going to muddle a bit of sugar in there. Now I'm going to use some confectioner's sugar because it dissolves much more easily than regular sugar, but you can use regular sugar should you so desire in your heart to do so. Put a little bit of water. And this process we're doing now is called muddling. You just stir it up so the sugar dissolves a bit down there. Similar to doing a mojito, like they do south of the border, where all those undocumented workers come from. Now let's add a bit of bourbon. Let's hope our cold glass is sufficiently chilled. It can be so hot down here in this southern heat. Give the poor ladies a case of the vapors. And pour our mint julep into our freshly cooled glass. We don't want to waste any, that will be alcohol abuse. Once our mint julep is done, we can stop with the stupid southern accent and enjoy. Whew, good stuff. Oh, Beauregard, I'll be on the veranda. Would you bring this for me? Alright, so let's get cooking, shall we? Like I said, we're going to be making grillades and grits. What the fuck is that? Grits. Looks like a Quaker Oats box, but it's grits. Made from hominy. What is hominy? I don't know. I think it's something like corn. If you're not from the South and you don't know what grits is, think of polenta, make it white, and you have grits. Grillades is a sort of Creole French term. Grilled meat. This is pork chops. You can use veal, beef, like a 7 steak or a thin kind of beef or something like that. I'm using pork chops. It doesn't matter. It's just meat. Don't use chicken, because that would just be chicken and grits, and that's not grillades. Next step in the process, we're going to beat our meat. No, really, beat it. Now you can take your frustrations out on your meat. I hate my boss! Damn it! I don't hate my boss. I like my boss just fine. But this is just for illustrative purposes only. So once you beat your meat, and you've come to a, well, not very climactic end to it, then you can start breading it. How do you bread it? It's easy. Let me get the stuff. Some plain old flour. Now here in New Orleans, this process is called pané. Oh, the flour you're going to use is plain old, what do they call it? Like everyday flour, or whatever the hell it is. All-purpose flour. Don't use self-rising flour, because then you'll have like a big puff pastry around your meat, and we're not making beef Wellington. Oh, that's a whole different episode now, isn't it? Beef Wellington. And we're not just going to use just plain old flour. Let's spice it up. I don't know if they have this where you're from, but here we have Tony Chachere's. Nice little combination of herbs and spices. I'm going to add a little extra garlic. It'd be nice if I opened the thing. A little bit of cayenne pepper. Alright, you remember our wet hand, dry hand technique, right? Let's say this is the dry hand. Let's mix up our spices and herbs and whatever the hell's in here into the flour. Wet hand. Now we didn't dip this in egg or anything. Oh Christ, really? We're gonna make a nice cloud of flour. Don't forget that. Oh, dang, that is so good. Tenderizing meat, beating your meat. How does that work? Just because you beat it? Well, it breaks up the muscle cells in the meat. Yes, meat is muscle tissue from the animal. Sorry to destroy your little image of pork chops growing in the little packages, but they don't. They come from actual animals that have to be slaughtered and killed. Alright, that was a bit graphic. There's 2 phases of cooking in this process. Oh my god, that sounds so complicated. It's really not. Alright, I got this newfangled contraption. It's some sort of a skillet kind of grill surface. Let's try it out. Look, this covers 2 burners. How fancy is that? So I'm going to put on both burners. Enjoy julep. Although I'm not on the veranda, I'm here in the kitchen with all the servants. You see all the servants around, right? Pan's nicely heated. Let's add a little bit of olive oil in there. Try and get it actually in the pan, not on the stove. Alright, this is my new technology. I don't know how well this is going to work, so if it's a big epic fail, you're here with me to support me and get my back. It's supposed to sizzle. It's not sizzling. Speaking of epic fails, hello. Just waiting. Still not really sizzling. I'm kind of not happy with that. Alright, well that's doing its thing. Let's get the other shit ready. Now I've got my beloved grill pan. You remember a while back I showed you Grillades Fresh Cuts Inc? Great stuff. Keeps you from having to chop vegetables. I have no intention of chopping fucking vegetables tonight. Nice little chunk of butter, maybe not quite a half a stick. I don't care how much you use. Butter's wonderful. Note to self, test out new technology before you put it on your damn show. This is just phase 1. Oh. 2 phases? Oh, we haven't even gotten to the grits yet, sweetheart. When you're doing this stuff, it's easy. That's the whole purpose of these videos, to show you that it's easy to cook well. Remember. I'm going to add a little more olive oil. There we go. That's the sizzle I want. Now it's sizzling. Take our Grillades. Pop that in there. That's our trinity. Onions, pepper, celery. Not, do I hear an answer? Not carrots, Emerald. Your grillades are nice and brown. There's one now. Put that on a plate with a paper towel so you can drain it a little bit, because it's good stuff. Turn your heat off, because you'll set fire to the damn plate. Let's chop up some tomatoes, because this is a Creole sauce. Creole means tomatoes. How do you know if it's cooking too fast? It's fucking burning. Tomatoes, let's throw those in there. Awesome. Ooh, let's get salt and pepper, because that's exciting. Some salt, kosher salt for cooking. Fresh ground pepper, you know about my fresh ground pepper thing. Oh man, it smells good. It smells like mint and cooking stuff. Beef broth. I know I diss on Emerald a lot, but this is the only beef broth I could find. Emerald's. Emerald's not from here. I diss on him a lot because he kind of makes it seem like New Orleans is a city. It's not. He's from like New York, or he's Portuguese or something like that, and just sort of adopted New Orleans as his charity fund or something. But I mean, if you want to promote New Orleans, I am all about it. Thank you very much, Emerald Lagasse. Just don't say you're from here, okay? And get your mirepoix right. There's no carrots in the Trinity. Green onions, because those taste great. Now slicing is not as hard as it sounds. I know every time you see in a cooking show they're saying, oh, you have to hold the knife this way and push the vegetables so that it does some stupid thing. Cut your vegetables whatever the hell way you want. I don't care. Green onions into the this stuff. One other thing, I'm going to slice up a bell pepper. Yes, the Trinity has bell pepper in there, but I want more. I like bell pepper. You probably don't like it. I mean, tons of people don't like bell pepper, and I don't get that. Julienning is different than Frenching. And no, I'm not talking about French kissing. Julienning, you're gonna slice it thinner than you do Frenching. We have French fries because the potatoes are Frenched. It is not because they come from France. They don't. In France, they are pommes frites, fried potatoes. In the rest of the English-speaking world, they are chips. Mix that in there. It's not hard. You can add wine to this or some vinegar. That would be great. The hell, let's see what this tastes like then. Can't hurt, might help. If it's gross, throw it away. Or give it to the homeless and, play a great joke on them. Let's get these guys. Now we're gonna put our pork chops in the sauce. And we're just gonna let them simmer for a while. We should really muddle some more. Beauregard. We can't just have grillades. We need grits. Alright, we'll fill the pot up a good bit because grits absorb a lot of water. This is not normally how you make grits. Normally it's just boil water and grits until the grits are done. Let's make some special grits. And get an egg. Crack the egg into the cold water. Fork it up. Fork you. Hominy grits. No clue what the hell hominy is. They make grits out of it, so we're gonna spill it all over the floor. Okay. Javier, clean up in aisle 2. Do not confuse Javier with Beauregard. I'm gonna put that in the cold water. This is a total experiment. I've never done this before. Well, we can't just have grillades and grits. This is a southern dish. We need some kind of green vegetable thing in progressively larger pots. I really don't need a pot this big, but this pot is busy with grits. That much water. Yeah, we from the south. We're gonna get us some collard greens, you heard? Just kind of rinse them. God knows who picked your collard greens. Those undocumented workers may not be fully up to date with their vaccinations. Beauregard, do we have any undocumented workers here? Remember the spinach that we did a while back? It turned into like nothing. Collard greens, same thing. Look, we have an extra pork chop. Let's slice that up. That's gonna go in with the collard greens. For shits and giggles. Why not? Add some salt to your water for your collard greens. Add some pepper to your water for your collard greens. And they're so healthy because they're full of vitamins and minerals and iron and all that stuff that you need to live. So if it comes out as an epic fail, don't do this. Make sure you spill it all over the stove. Ruined your collard green. I don't think I've ever had polenta, but like I read on the internet where polenta is like grits, but it's yellow. Grits don't need to be yellow unless you make cheese grits, which we're gonna do. Cheese grits, yay. Gotta love a drink that's like pure bourbon. Oh my god, and it tastes wonderful. This nice consistency where the bubbles come up and they kind of stay. That's grits consistency right there. Cheese grits. Extra fat, extra cholesterol. Yay. 2 different kinds of cheddar cheese. White cheddar cheese and yellow cheddar cheese. Everything's better with cheese. Bowl full of 2 different kinds of cheese. White cheddar cheese and yellow cheddar cheese. That's just gonna go into the grits. Just pop it right in there. And stir. Like I said before, if you need lessons on stirring, you need to just go make a fucking sandwich. Learn to stir, okay? And my glasses are all steamed up. Can't see a thing. Garlic makes everything better. It's like the cheese of the vegetable world. And then juleps are the cheese of the alcohol world. Beauregard, I need a refill. I think I just like the word muddle. 1, 2, 3, we are cooking. Cornstarch to me was always one of those mysterious, ooh, what do you do with cornstarch? It's a thickener. Duh. Like a teaspoon of cornstarch. Mix the cornstarch with water. Bowl of cornstarch and water. Ooh. Pour that into our grillade gravy. Mashed potato thick. Cheese grits. This, Jesus Christ. Grits on the plate. Let's get some of our grillades. Put that on top of the grits. Get your gravy, put that on top of the grits and the grillades. Collard greens. And that's how it looks. Hang on, I'll take a picture, a better picture. Grillades and grits and collard greens. Bon appetit. Until next time. Adios.